It was a community devastated by one of our worst ever floods. Thousands of homes destroyed and lives shattered in Lismore. In the aftermath, families were given temporary accommodation, but now they face homelessness again.
All we had was clothes we had on.
The water went right up onto the bottom of the roof.
These are the faces of those who lost everything in the Lismore floods.
Oh no.
In the aftermath, they were given a lifeline, but 2 years on, there's a new crisis.
Has this been your saving grace here?
Yeah,
oh,
it certainly
definitely.
has.
We're so grateful we got one, you know, and now we've got to go.
Well, I was in a tent for three months till I got into here after the flood, and that's where I'll be going back to.
We've got absolutely nowhere to go.
Just don't have a heart. Nobody cares about us.
Where are we going to go?
Everyone here at this village in northern New South Wales lost their homes in the 2022 floods. So the state government built these pods to provide temporary accommodation. But these people are now facing homelessness yet again because the local council wants its land back. There's just one big problem. There's still nowhere for them to go.
So we're getting booted out.
Peter is a 76-year-old single pensioner. He's called this shipping container home for the last 2 years since he was displaced.
Yeah, it's plenty of space for me.
Like hundreds of other residents living here, he recently received this letter.
What? The village will take several months to deconstruct.
Residents told to get out by November because the New South Wales government's lease with Ballina Shire Council is coming to an end.
What am I supposed to do?
So all this has got to go to make way for football fields. Money spent on building, plumbing, electricity, roads, landscaping, even 24-hour security, seemingly down the drain.
It is just such a waste, like the amount of money that it will cost to rip this down.
The crisis accommodation here has been rent-free, but for most residents like Denise and her son Josh, they say paying rent isn't a problem.
We're not just a bunch of bludgers who want free housing, we're people who have got nowhere else to go.
They've always lived in private rentals but have never seen a housing crisis like this.
I mean, you can be on the extra priority list all you want, but you're on a priority list for a house that doesn't exist.
There's no houses. We were renters before we came here too.
This isn't where Sarah wants to be raising her kids. She's a single mum with a 9-year-old and newborn.
We're grateful, but if they shut this down, where are we going to go? I did 13 applications and got knocked back for every single one.
There were no private houses to go back to.
10,000 homes across the region were damaged in the floods, 4,000 of which were uninhabitable. Sandy's pleading with Ballina Shire Council to let them stay.
And if they start charging us rent, we'd be happy to pay fair rent.
The pods have got everything in them. They've got the washing machine, dryers, 2 double beds, bunks.
It was always intended for sporting fields, but it can't be indefinitely. It just cannot be.
Sharon Cadwallader is the Mayor of Ballina Shire Council.
We have a lot of lazy Crown land around our shire that could be turned into great social housing projects.
She blames the state government for failing to find an alternative.
What have you been doing to provide social housing in Ballina Shire, to house these folk that absolutely deserve safe, secure, permanent homes, not stuck out the back of sporting fields.
The government's own audit office finding
demobilisation plans for the temporary housing villages have been developed, but there are no long-term plans in place for the transition of tenants out of the temporary housing.
Playing cricket isn't worth putting 150 plus people homeless, you know.
The New South Wales Reconstruction Authority established 11 temporary housing villages in the Northern Rivers. Telling A Current Affair, a transfer to vacant accommodation in other temporary villages may be an option for eligible households where needed.
Do something for the homeless people. They've been through all the floods. lost everything.
Someone, somewhere has to start building houses for people.